Welcome back to episode 8 of The Fade. My name is Luca Zima. Once again, I'm joined by my co-hosts Cam Britt, Ethan McLeod, Dylan Pupo, and Steve Laurie. Good to have you back this week, Dylan.
How's it going?
Good. We thought you were going to be in hibernation until next season, you know?
Yeah, I thought about it. I wanted to hide out so no one could make fun of me, but, I got to face my fears once in a while.
What, do you just tell them that I don't care with the T-shirt?
Yeah, I don't care about the NFL no more, The boys are out. The Eagles are in the Super Bowl, so we're just not going to care anymore.
It's a great feeling, man. It's a great feeling for at least 4 of us here. But going off of that, let's wrap up with recap the championship games. Chiefs Bengals 2023, big shootout there. Burrow and Mahomes, that was no letdown of a game. A little bit of controversy at the end. What's your guys' take on that game?
Yeah, with the calls, some of the calls obviously they straight up missed, like the holding calls against Orlando Brown that were like obvious calls they missed, but that happens in literally every NFL game. So like, and the fact it's the playoffs, it's their last drive. They're gonna let a few slide. If the Bengals had the ball and they were holding, they'd probably do the same. I don't think the NFL is scripted like that, but I don't know. And people are trying to say like the calls against the Bengals or the call where they ran a play on third down and they didn't get it, and then they said, "Wait, redo the play." Like everyone's like saying, "Oh yeah, why would they give him a new play?" But it didn't even matter in the end. The Bengals got the ball anyways, and they went 3 and out, had to punt the ball. So with the calls, I don't think it was fixed in any way.
Dylan?
I mean, there's obviously questionable calls. There's questionable calls in every game. I mean, it's just when it comes down to the end of the game, it's like if it affects the game to where one team wins and the other team doesn't or whatever, that's where people go crazy over it. I think there was some questionable calls, but the whole holding thing, there could be holds like on every play. Every team holds like almost every play. Like if I was a ref, I could pick a guy on the line every single play that holds. So I think like it is questionable, but I don't know. I mean, I think it was a good game overall.
Almost every time, like I watch the offensive line, like during one play, I see at least one hold, just about every play. So like the holding calls, I don't really see it as like them being missed. It's just what it is.
Well, you know how many times like the Cowboys lose in the playoffs, and I'm over here like looking at the last play going, we would have won because some guy getting a holding call that would have won us the game. You know what I mean? It's just every fan base does it. But
yeah, and the late hit on Mahomes, that was like definitely a penalty. Like you got to call that. He took 2 steps out of bounds and got pushed into the bench. Like,
did you see his teammate bashing him now, walking into the locker room?
Yeah, he's yelling at him.
That's what I was gonna say.
Dude, that's messed up. I don't like that.
Yeah,
no, he's a rookie, dude, too.
And then they all left him on the sideline, and there was one guy that stuck with him. And I think Terrell Owens actually said, he's like, hey, like you go to war every week with these guys, stuff like that. And he's like, his whole team and his whole group all left him and went to the locker room, didn't even go to him. And he's like, one guy sat out there and had his back and told him it's going to be all right. Don't worry about it. We'll get him next year. Shake it off. And he's like, that's his one brother. There's 75 other people, including the practice squad players. And then there's also 100 more with the whole organization itself that not one person went and actually confided in this guy and gave them their condolences or whatnot.
Which is pretty messed up considering he's a rookie, dude. The kid's, probably 22 years old. He's bawling his eyes out on the sideline. You would think that the veterans of the team would come over and try to support him, but no, they're going to scream in his face and shit when he's walking to the locker room. Like, I don't think that's cool either.
Yeah, he was actually having a really good game.
Like, yeah, he was.
He was getting pressure on Mahomes like that whole fourth quarter.
Yeah, man.
I kept hearing his name. like getting QB pressures and stuff.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If that wouldn't have happened, they probably would have gotten the field goal range, and the game probably would have went into overtime. But it happens, dude. You know what I mean?
Still the point of like the special teams giving up that big return to Sky Moore as well. You know,
Yeah.
You know,
it wasn't just one call.
Yeah, that wasn't the only thing.
From the game.
And, you know, Ethan's been down this road quite a few times during his days of football where the game came down to him and he had that one bad play call.
The one bonehead mistake.
What, throwing a hoagie at the bus driver. Cam, your take on the game?
Man, so I always thought Joe Burrow was like that guy, you know, and he still is, don't get me wrong. But the things that Mahomes does is just playing on a bum ankle and stuff like that. I mean, that's just like unheard of, especially in this generation of football. It's like completely different from how it used to be. But the thing that I noticed the most of is that Chiefs offense is not as deadly as it seems because it's Mahomes, Pacheco, and Kelsey pulling like 85% of the weight of that offense. So
well, MVS had a huge game.
Yeah,
man. He
dude. Yeah, he had a big catch for that tutty.
He ate Eli Apple up like an apple, dude.
It's Eli. Yeah, it's
He
Eli
sucks,
Apple,
dude.
I mean,
I'm
he's
so
going up against
sick of
good
hearing
guys
his
in the
mouth.
league, but just focusing on this game. Like, you take one of those guys out of the equation, and who knows what can happen. But yeah, penalties kind of suspect there, but it is what it is. Good game for the Chiefs. Tough for Cincinnati.
Well, and Burrow, like you said, you know, I thought Burrow was a little different, obviously, but it's another game. It was crucial. They lost by 3. Burrow had 2 picks in the game as well, you know. But, I mean, they didn't even run the ball. I think Pacheco had, 20, 26. Mixon had 19. It wasn't really a running game. Going off of that game, we'll go Eagles 49ers, complete shutout. What more do you want, boys? Sorry, Josh Johnson.
I mean, some of us here called it. So
Let's Talk Sports were 4-0 on that game last week.
Yeah.
No surprise there. But
I was kind of disappointed though. Like I was hoping to see Purdy more. You know, I was hoping that he would be able to play in Philadelphia. I liked Brock Purdy, and I think he's gonna have a great career in San Francisco. I wish he stayed in the game. I think it would have made the game better to watch because it was just complete domination after he got out.
I don't like seeing people get hurt and stuff like that, dude, either. But Hassan Reddick, dude, just wreaks havoc on everybody anymore. I cannot wait to see his attitude in the Super Bowl, dude. Like he should have been Defensive Player of the Year. Dylan, I know you don't want to hear that, but it's true.
he should have definitely been an All-Pro for sure. I think he's definitely got to show out in the Super Bowl. The whole Eagles defensive line, they have to show out. They have to get pressure on Mahomes. That's how they win on defense. They get pressure on the QB. They let their cornerbacks sit there covered for a couple seconds and either force a bad throw, get a sack, or stop the run.
I mean, this game was just boring. I mean, I know you guys are Eagles fans and like obviously you're going to the Super Bowl, like you're going to be excited, but as like just an NFL fan, that was just boring. Like as soon as he went out, it was just like, and like the thing I don't like to hear is, and I just want to like, I know you are all going to laugh at me and take this like in a weird way, but I hear, 49ers defense, who? Like they're the best defense in the league, blah, blah, blah. I still stand by that. You want to know why? When the offense is going 3-and-out all game long, that defense has been on the field all day long. In the first half, I know like the Eagles scored on that first drive with the Devontae catch or whatever. Still a great catch. I know he didn't actually catch it, but it was still phenomenal. Like to even make it seem like
really good.
But like, I mean, I was watching it. It seemed like the Eagles offense was like having a little bit of difficulties. It seemed like they're getting a little bit of pressure on Jalen Hurts and stuff. But I think it's just like when you're on the field at that point, like once the second half comes, you can't just have your defense on the field the whole game. They're going to get tired out. Don't get me wrong. Eagles still have a great offense, great offensive line. which obviously helps their case too. But you're going to get tired out, and I think that really played a factor in the game.
I think, dude, that the Eagles' offense might be too much for the Chiefs' defense in the Super Bowl, man. Because the Chiefs have never really had like a solid defense all around. You know what I mean? Like, they're a good team, but it's always been because of the offense. It's never been because the Chiefs' defense is carrying. It's always been the offense, dude. You know what I mean? And I think that the Eagles' defense is going to be way too much for them in the Super Bowl, for sure.
I mean, the past 2 weeks, the Chiefs' defense has been playing pretty good.
They have been, yeah, but it's been certain people that have been playing good.
They held the Bengals to 20. They held the Jags to 20 as well. Those are two pretty good offenses. They've been
quarterbacks. I mean, Holden Burrow is.
Yeah, they've been getting pressure. Like Chris Jones, he just got, which is crazy to think about. In his 14 NFL playoff games, Chris Jones just got his first sack last week in the playoffs.
That's crazy.
But he's a beast. He's all pro.
He had what? He had over. I think he had like 15 and a half sacks this year too.
Yeah, this year. This
has always been good.
His last game against the Bengals, it was his 14th playoff game, and he got his first sack in it.
Wow.
Yeah, that was surprising. But
yeah, wow.
Also, I don't know what his status is, but I know McDuffie got hurt in that game. The Chiefs cornerback, the rookie.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. I mean, the Chiefs are hurting right now, injury-wise, like pretty bad. And I mean, it is the game of football. You know, a lot of the times the more healthy team wins. But
but you can't ever count out.
Never.
Well, yeah, but the 2 weeks really helps them. Like the Pro Bowl week, like if the Super Bowl was this weekend, I think they struggle a lot more.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. But like I said, with Mahomes, you never know, dude. This guy could carry the whole 52 guys on his back.
What he's been doing for 5 years, dude. Honestly,
there's a reason that he is who he is.
Mahomes, dude. That team completely changed.
No, I'm not saying he can't. I'm not saying he can't. I'm saying, has he been doing it for the past 5 years? And no, he has had help. Like, we're not going to.
He has had help. People were saying that he couldn't do it without Tyreek, and he's done even better without Tyreek.
No, I absolutely agree. But I was just disagreeing. I wasn't disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just disagreeing with that he has been for 5 years. That's all I was disagreeing with.
Well, Dylan, I don't take no offense.
Well, going off of that, we know that now Brock Purdy, he needs surgery. He's out for 6 to 8 weeks, or 6 to 8 months. I mean, if you would have told me that he was healthy going into this, the San Fran front office said he's the guy who's winning this job. Now it's up in the air. Do we keep Trey Lance? Do we, Jimmy G, he's long gone. Kyle Shanahan already said there's no chance he's coming back. I guess there's like smug remarks were made by Jimmy Garoppolo because he wasn't even suited up for the game and he was healthy. So there was a lot of remarks, I guess, on Jimmy G's camp and him as a person. So he's gone. Trey Lance is coming back. Brock Purdy's probably not going to be ready for week 1 of the regular season, I'd say. But what's your guys' take? What do they do there?
I think they need a quarterback competition over in San Fran after he's healthy with Trey Lance, because you still don't know exactly what he's capable of. I mean, played 4 games total? I mean, I don't really even know. But that's some good competition that you got with Brock Purdy. So I think it's up in the air for them. But I don't think they take anybody. I don't think they draft anybody at quarterback. It would make no sense for them. So I think that's what it's going to come down to. They keep the 2 young guys.
Do you think that they'd be open for trade? Like the trade for a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr?
It would be interesting to see, that's for sure.
I have no idea, because what would you think, like John Lynch, what he thinks right now? You know what I mean? Like, if I had Purdy healthy, I think I'm sticking with Purdy, right? And I'm not going to making a trade now that Brady's retired, and that was what everything was linked to, Tom Brady. if I know I have Brock Purdy healthy, I think Brock Purdy's my starter, and Trey Lance can go and ride the coattails, or we go and trade Trey Lance to someone. But I can see like what happens until Purdy's healthy is they go and sign a veteran quarterback for like a cheap, maybe $2-3 million deal at tops, and have a little bit of QB competition before before Purdy comes back.
See, the way I think of it, I think of this Niners team kind of like the 2010 Broncos or 2011 Broncos, how they had Tebow, and like they had probably the best defense in the NFL. They had a good offense too, and they had Tebow, and he just couldn't get it done. They brought in Peyton Manning, and they went and won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I could see them going, try to trade for Aaron Rodgers, bringing him in, and who knows at that point if they got AR-12.
I mean, I think Purdy's career might be over before it started. This is a big injury. And to his throwing arm, like, I mean, I hope he comes back. I hope he does well. But, like, you know, he's not going to be back for weeks into the season next year. And who knows if Trey Lance or something comes out and is, like, playing well to start the season, we might not see him play next year because he might just be a backup. And then, you know, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he'll come back and he'll be the same guy, but he might come back and just the confidence might be gone. He might not be able to throw the same way he did. So I could see it. I could see both scenarios. I think he can come back, play well. I think it could also be done.
That's a good point, Dylan. I like that because that is a pretty serious injury. I didn't even really think about that because it's kind of like a pitcher. You know what I mean?
Yeah, isn't it Tommy John surgery? I think that's what I heard.
It's a torn UCL. I don't know if that's actually Tommy John.
No, they're saying he needs Tommy John surgery for it.
That's gonna be tough as hell to come back from.
Especially in football, dude.
Yeah.
I agree with Dylan 100%. And say, like, for the 49ers, dude, if you either trade Trey Lance or say that Brock Purdy isn't the same, like Dylan said, I think this is where you bring in somebody like Jordan Love, who isn't happy in Green Bay, who's saying, start me or trade me. You can pick up the rest of his contract. You can trade for him for not too much. You can bring him in to compete, see what happens there. And I think Jordan Love is pretty good, dude, honestly. I liked him in college, and I don't think that they're going to use him right in Green Bay because I feel like Aaron Rodgers is going to end up retiring there. So why not trade Jordan Love to try to get weapons for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay? And then over there for the 49ers, it would work out for them too, dude, because Tommy John surgery is big, dude. Like, people aren't the same after they get that. And it's to his throwing arm, and it's a football. Like, baseball players get it, but the football's a contact sport. So, yeah, it's going to be tough, dude. But they should bring somebody in to try to compete for the job because I don't think Trey Lance is the answer.
Yeah, because you got to think, too, like how he did get hurt, how Hassan Reddick strip sacked him. You got to be thinking, dude, he might be having, like, PTSD, bro, overthinking so much of, like, man, am I going to get hit that same way again? You know, like, it is, yeah, I didn't really think of it because I'm not really a baseball guy like Cam and stuff. So, like, I didn't know how big of Tommy John is, but I had a few friends who got it. And, yeah, like, it's a struggle to rehab then back from it. That's why it's saying 6 to 8 months.
Harper got Tommy John surgery for the Phillies. He ain't expected back to the All-Star break.
Yeah. So I don't know where they go with Brock Purdy then from here. Yeah, maybe a big trade happens.
I just don't know what the Niners could even do. Like, how they got to be running out of money.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I mean, like trading for Carr, I don't think that works because Carr just got paid, right?
Same with Rodgers.
But
so I don't think they could.
Jordan Love's at the end of his rookie contract. That's probably super cheap. It's probably just a couple $1 million a year.
Yeah, but I think like Green Bay's just moving on from Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love's getting the start. Like that, I think that's basically our.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen.
Because, like, I mean, Rodgers is already talking about going places.
I think Zach Wilson's done.
I mean, I forgot that guy, but still.
I think they're going to keep him as a Jet. Robert Saleh said that they're definitely going to work to get a veteran in there this year, which possibly you can see any one of these guys that are rumored around. But they want to get a veteran in there and then have the veteran work with Zach Wilson for a year. They said we threw Zach Wilson under the bus, and if they would have started him or had him benched him his first year and let him learn a little bit that he'd be a totally different player. But like I'm looking at like Zach Wilson, like this Levy's guy or Levi's, dude, he's gonna have one great play in his pro day or the combine, and everyone's gonna be so hyped about him, and then he's gonna be a bust.
Will Levis is good, I think, dude.
We'll see.
I guess we'll see when he's on the NFL team.
I think he's going to be better than CJ Stroud's going to be in the NFL.
I think Stroud's going to be ready, dude. And I'm hoping he goes to Indy or Vegas.
Yeah.
Whatever QB lands in Houston, good luck for your career for the next 5 years.
It's going to end up being Bryce Young, dude, probably. Which sucks because I really like Bryce Young.
I'm telling you, Rodgers is going to LA and he's going back with Devontae. It's just going to happen.
Did you see what Devontae was saying? I don't know if it's like just he's trolling or what, but he was saying that Aaron Rodgers was moving to his neighborhood.
Yeah. He was a guy was Rodgers was golfing and a guy was like, yo, Rodgers, and he's like, he looked back and he's like, I heard Devontae's looking for a neighbor, and Rodgers turned around and he goes, yeah, tell him to buy me a house with all that money he just got. So I could see that happening, dude. Big things are going to happen, circulate around the NFL.
Yeah, Devontae Adams, he posted something on Twitter. It was like, ask me any question, I'll respond to 10 of them. And someone asked him, what neighborhood is Aaron Rodgers moving to? And Devontae chose to answer that one and retweeted it with mine. He said mine.
Yeah,
that's what I saw. Yeah,
he's definitely trying to recruit Aaron.
And I mean, if you're a Green Bay, if you're
does that make you happy, Luke?
Yeah, Steve. Seeing you munch down a couple cashews,
a couple peanuts.
If you're gonna send him to the AFC as well, like, I mean, the Raiders are a good team because you're probably not gonna see him because plus the AFC is loaded to begin with, but that division to begin with.
Yeah, that division in general is a huge division.
So basically, Green Bay is saying, I mean, I'm not saying Rodgers ain't going to be relevant, but they're basically saying, like, we're just going to give you the toughest road you have since you want to leave us.
Yeah. And I don't think it would necessarily be doing him wrong to send him to Vegas. You're sending him back with Devontae. Vegas isn't really necessarily even in a rebuild mode anyways yet. They have the weapons and stuff.
But then you got to think too, dude, like how much, like Vegas, they're paying. Like, do they have the money to even pay Aaron Rodgers $50 million a year, dude?
Well, they're paying.
Let's get rid of Carr.
Derek Carr. Yeah, if they get rid of Derek Carr,
dude, it would
Derek Carr 40, I think.
Yeah, but most of it, dude, would be Rodgers. Most of this hit would be Green Bay taking this hit because of the guaranteed money. And now they can make a little agreement and be like, hey, you take like 30% of the guaranteed money off of our hands, whatever, just give us like a first for him. You know what I mean? It all depends, but
I think he would do that maybe with somebody he'd win a Super Bowl with, not to just go play with somebody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't really think that Las Vegas is a contender. Even if they had Aaron Rodgers, I don't think that they would be.
Yeah, it all depends.
Taking a 30% pay cut would be just a little extreme.
Yeah. But not a 30% pay cut, dude. I'm saying the guaranteed money, 30% of that guaranteed money wouldn't land on Green Bay. Green Bay's the one who owes him this money.
Yeah.
It's not Rodgers taking it. Like Rodgers did say, though, flat out, he's like, I will restructure my contract. So, I mean, that's all up in there.
I mean, I hope he wins another ring, dude. I like Aaron Rodgers. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks ever. I think his arm talent is arguably the best I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Going off of Rodgers, though, now that Brady's retirement is official, what happens then? Where does that leave Tampa Bay, Vegas now? Because Vegas was more linked to Brady. But where does that lead Tampa Bay? Is me and Cam were talking about it. I'm thinking, do we see maybe a Jimmy G head over to Tampa because they're a quarterback away of being contenders as well? Like they're still in it.
Yeah, we were saying Jimmy G or Derek Carr, right? So I mean,
I think it'll be Carr, dude. Or what about
Lamar?
Lamar?
Is a pretty good option. Oh, Lamar would be dangerous, man.
Imagine that, dude. That's what I was thinking at first when I first saw that.
It really depends on how much money they're willing to spend on a quarterback.
Yeah.
Because Brady wasn't paid that much. I mean, it wasn't like an
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers contract. So
and
I
they're
mean,
paying
I don't know how much
Evan
they're paying all these guys.
What was Brady making? 25 mil a year?
making like less, like 19.
Was
He's
he?
making like 19.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah, he took a big leap, bro, to stay, and then that's just the reason he's winning, dude, is because you're paying other guys and then focus on whatever, like he could have won MVP. What was it, a year ago or 2 years ago? That it was like neck and neck with last season.
Last year was sort of there.
Yeah, which he arguably could have won that, but I don't know. That's a big thing. So what do you always think about Tampa? What's their QB room going to be looking like?
So they got
Wow.
they got Kyle Trask, who hasn't looked good at all for them.
Gabbert's gone in free agency.
Blaine Gabbert, they might sign him to a 1 year just to have a veteran on the roster who knows the system.
Yeah.
He's obviously not going to lead them to anything.
It's true.
I mean, they're honestly in a tough spot. The Bucs, I'm pretty sure they have the oldest roster in the NFL. They have the oldest offense and like the 8th oldest defense, something like that. So they're not really like in a spot to rebuild. Like they're in a spot to compete, but they definitely need a quarterback that isn't on their roster right now. So
Because that division is so weak, dude. That division's weak.
I mean, the Saints will be better next year. I think the Panthers have a chance at competing, but that division's definitely winnable for them. They have the 19th pick, which they could move up from there if they want to draft a quarterback. And that's something they could do.
Be tough though. Because
I think it's gonna depend too, man, how long a lot of these QBs stay. But I think, dude, like I just think Tampa is like an ideal place to play for a lot of these guys. Like you said, Ethan, they're not necessarily in rebuild mode. They have a pretty good line with Ryan Jensen, Wharfs, besides Donovan Smith, who sucks. But like they have these guys, dude, who are pretty good. Fournette, I think, is still under contract with them as well. You have Evans,
good dude too. Yeah.
You have Evans, Godwin, dude. Russell Gage. A pretty good defense. I think it's Devin White or maybe Levante are both free agents. I'm pretty sure, and Jamal Dean.
Yeah.
But I would just say, dude, the warm weather, you have really good receivers around you. That's my ideal spot, man. Like for some weird reason, dude, I can kind of see maybe like Baker Mayfield, dude. Like I don't know. It's a weird situation. I can see maybe Baker Mayfield maybe not re-signing with LA because he sees that there's options out there where Stafford's going to get the start. I don't know. It's going to be a weird QB carousel. I know Geno Smith, his contract's looking good with negotiations with Seattle, so I don't think he's going to be leaving Seattle. There's not really many star quarterbacks.
I mean, I have one for Tampa. I mean, it's not a star. Tampa shouldn't. I don't think they should even try to go get a star right now. I mean, they can't run the ball. So like I ain't just trying to go pay some star, even if it's like, Derek Carr or something, to come in there, and they can't run the ball, so they're just not going to succeed, kind of like this year with Brady. And then everyone's going to be like, oh, they're wasting money, blah blah blah, and they're just like, I honestly would rather like get somebody that's good but not great right now and not worth too much money. Wait to build the offensive line up a little bit better so you could run the ball. You have Rashad White. Fournette, I'm not a big fan of Fournette. I think he's on the downhill just like Zeke. But you got Rashad. That's pretty good. But the guy I'm talking about is I think he could come back into town, Jameis Winston.
Oh.
I was just going to say I would love to see Jameis Winston.
He was a backup this year for the Saints because they wanted to roll with Andy Dalton for some reason after week 3. I don't know. I think Jameis could come back and start for them and do an okay enough job, and they could start. And they're not going to have to pay him a lot, and then just work on building the team a little bit better, and then maybe dive into a quarterback.
Dylan, that is actually a really good take, man. That actually is.
And you said and you were even saying, I think it was you that was just saying, he knows the system. You were saying bring someone in that knows the system. I mean,
Ethan was, yeah.
he has been here.
That's honestly, I was just gonna bring up. I'd love to see Jameis Winston come back.
Because I was reading about that the Saints might be looking to make some trades at quarterback too.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
think they're gonna
yeah.
I think they're going to draft for sure.
Yeah,
I think they're going to try to pick someone.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they leave Dalton, start another season. But yeah, Jameis Winston, dude, that's up there. That's up there. That's a good take. I like that one.
Or
I
like
do.
you could trade
wasn't
somebody
thinking that.
too, dude. That's like average. That is a good take, man. Or like even somebody like Tannehill or something because he's not doing the job in Tennessee. Like they might as well move on from him because they can be contenders too.
That's another one. I mean, nobody's talking about any QBs going to Tennessee.
Yeah.
What if they shoot some shots and try to get
I can see Tannehill leaving, dude, and going somewhere like Tampa Bay or something like that.
That's one I didn't even think about yet. That dude, there could be very well a QB.
They're major contenders, dude. They were for the past couple of years when they had AJ and stuff like that. Like Tannehill was doing all right, but
even this year they were good until they had that breakdown.
Yeah, this year they were all right. Yeah,
at one point.
Yeah. They started off the season hot.
I thought they were for sure in the playoffs. All they had to do is win 3 more games.
Even last year, dude, if Derrick Henry didn't get hurt early on, they were going deep in the playoffs.
They can't rely on Derrick Henry, dude, to have these 2,000-yard seasons every year. You know what I mean? Like, you have to get a quarterback in there. Like, obviously, we know Malik Willis is not the answer.
No,
he is flat out bad.
Horrible.
Bad. And, like, a lot of these guys, before this draft happened, they said, they're like, I don't see one quarterback in this draft class, in this past season, the Pickett and Willis, that are starter ready. Pickett kind of showed that he is, but Malik Willis, dude, I don't even think he threw for over 100 yards in one game, did he?
No. And it's funny because they were all saying at first, dude, when the combine first started, that they thought Malik Willis was the best quarterback in that draft, and he stinks, dude.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Up to the 4th round, definitely. I mean,
I don't know
put all the blame on Tannehill though, because obviously Tannehill isn't like he's not a top 15 QB. Like he's average.
But their receivers,
he's average.
But like their system is just meant for Derrick Henry. The run on 1st and 2nd down, whatever you don't get, Tannehill here, you have to get this on 3rd down. With 2 rookie receivers and
Robert Woods.
Mm-hmm.
Who was coming off of an ACL.
When Derrick Henry's getting 31 carries a game.
Yeah.
Like if he had AJ Brown there still, they would have made the playoffs for sure.
You know who I can see going to Tampa Bay? Gardner Minshew.
I was going to say that a little bit ago.
I'm thinking, dude. I'm thinking of all these possibilities, man. Maybe Minshew.
There's a lot of them.
He played in Florida already with Jacksonville, so you know what I mean. He has connections down in the Florida area. I can see Gardner Minshew, dude, getting his hands a little dirty down in Tampa.
What kind of connections are you talking about here?
Oh man, the gym connections, man. You know him. All right, going off of that though, how Steven, you said Jordan Love, start me or trade me, he said, right? What do they do? Do they start him or do they trade him?
I mean, it depends what they're going to do with Aaron Rodgers, you know what I mean? It all comes down to that. But if Aaron Rodgers goes somewhere else, obviously you're going to take a chance with Jordan Love. Yeah. But there's no reason to keep him around if you're going to pay Aaron Rodgers $50 million. So, like I said earlier, dude, I think like it'd be pretty ideal for him to maybe go to San Fran and compete for the job since Purdy's getting the Tommy John surgery. Because I don't think Trey Lance is going to do so hot over there, and I definitely think that Trey Lance would be the starter over there, and they have a good offense, so I think he would do pretty good. You know what I mean? He wouldn't be like this irrelevant quarterback. He would be a decent starter in the league with all these weapons around him, and I know that him and McCaffrey talk a little bit. They're kind of friends, so that would be pretty cool to play with like one of your boys. But yeah, I could see them probably trading him because I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna end up retiring in Green Bay.
Anyone else on that?
See, I feel like Green Bay is looking at this like they're ready to move on. I think they're ready to trade Aaron Rodgers and keep Jordan Love, and maybe trade for some weapons for Jordan Love, and see what he can do in his first year, and evaluate after that. But if they decide to keep Aaron, which I doubt, then they'll definitely have to trade Jordan Love, and they might trade him for some draft equity, once Aaron retires, or for next year. Who knows? I think they're going to keep Jordan Love.
Yeah, I can see Jordan Love being the guy there. Going off of that, what's up with Tyler Huntley in the Pro Bowl? What is this? What is this garbage? I guess
They just pick anybody anymore.
It's a big
honestly.
joke at this point.
Might as well put Zach Wilson in. If you're gonna put Huntley in, like, that's crazy.
I was thinking about going to play.
Literally players they don't even want to play in this game. Like Josh Allen, he got ruled out for injury, and this weekend he's competing in Pebble Beach.
Oh.
Yeah, like a golf tournament.
Like the guys, they just don't want to play in this game. It's just turned into a big joke.
Yeah, I would honestly, man. I mean, people wanted to play in it when it was up in Hawaii. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't want to back out of it because they're like, oh, a nice all-exclusive Hawaii hot. You know what I mean? They're having a good time up in Hawaii.
What was that?
But, yeah, they're having a good time, dude, up in Hawaii. I was saying, Peyton Manning would go in there, dude, just dotting it up because he knows, he's like, hey, the MVP of this game comes out with a Hyundai. A nice brand new 07 Hyundai Subi, and you had something to play for, a free car. Like, I remember, dude, I was watching this one thing, dude. He told Brandon Marshall, he hit him on a nice little like dart route, but it's like a slant, and he just nails him, dude. And Marshall drops it, and Peyton, dude, was just so like fed up with it. He's like, dude, he just cost me the MVP of this game. Like, Brandon B. Marshall, you rookie, you just cost me a car.
I like Brandon Marshall a lot, dude.
Yeah, that's your boy. No, he was a beast, bro. He was a beast, Marshall. But like, I just think it's a joke, bro. Like, no offense, I like Tyler Huntley because like he's a cool guy. He has that swagger to him. But at the same time, dude, you're not even the best quarterback on your team. You're telling me he was the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, maybe even 9th or 10th best quarterback in the AFC side. Like, things have to be done with the Pro Bowl. I think, yeah, they're trying to make it a lot better for the fans to watch and like more safer for the players, but I just think it's a joke.
Yeah, everything's about safety for the players nowadays. Like, yeah. I read something that the officiating association or whatever, they're like the committee, they're going in and they're determining, like, they're ruling on whether if like hip tackling, like when you're going from behind someone and like you fall on your hip,
in a way, yeah.
How Tony Pollard got hurt like that from behind. They're going in to see if that should be like ruled like a personal foul.
Yeah, I did see that. They just
soon it's gonna just be like 2-hand touch. Like,
dude, how else are you supposed to bring down someone running at full speed? Like, you're paid to do that, man. Like,
obviously you don't want to see people get hurt, but like you're gonna have these defensive guys thinking exactly how should I hit this guy every time.
Yeah,
and, it's just gonna lead to worse. Yeah.
Because we've seen so many plays this year, dude, where a quarterback's dropping back and a D lineman has just a full head of steam that can go and lay him out. And the quarterback's going and throwing it like this, you know what I mean? And the guy lays off. And then he just gets then a free throw out of it then. Like, the guy will stop hitting him. I think, yeah, but you're also paid. I hate to say it, you're paid you're paid millions of dollars, dude, to go and do this. Like, there's guys willing, bro, to get paid $20 to be in their shoes, man, and get their bells rung. You know, like you paid me, dude, $1,000 a year. I'll go play in the NFL. I'll do it for free. You know, I don't really give a crap about my health, dude. If I'm playing a game I love, but I mean, these guys got families and kids, you know, but work their butts off to get there. But still, like, dude, you're getting paid so much money. Like, understand what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah,
Going,
like the defense nowadays is just it's so hard to play. So much harder than it was 20
yeah.
years ago when guys
Like,
can just hit each other as long as they don't literally knock people unconscious. Like you're fine.
well, I guess they're going to be saying a little more now too about CTE looking into it because now, did you see Antonio Brown went live yesterday? And he goes, blame James Harrison for my CTE. He was using an illegal helmet his whole career. And he hit me once, and he's like, I've been aggressive ever since.
Yeah, I don't find.
Are you really going to believe Antonio Brown?
I don't believe
That's what I
Antonio.
mean.
I think he's just trolling. I think he's
Yeah.
just,
Me too.
he don't care about nothing.
I can't stand him anymore, dude. He's AJ Brown's cousin, and I hate that. Like, seriously, dude. I can't stand Antonio Brown.
And what, you want to be his boy because he's AJ's cousin?
Well, I wish I was his cousin. I hate that. He's his cousin.
But going off of that, well, do we think now that Denver, that's another stacked division, do we think Sean Payton could turn the tide, to flip the tide up in Denver and lead them? They gave up a good bit to get him, right?
Yeah.
What they gave up the second.
First
Yeah, I
round
think
pick,
the first-
second round pick.
They're in the same position they were last year, even more. Like they threw all their cards on the table to get Russ. Traded 3 promising young players, 3 picks to get Russ. Obviously, that sucked for them because they were awful this year with Russ. He was awful. And now they just pull more cards out of their pocket and put them back on the table. Like, they're pretty much out of draft picks, like or early round draft
couple of years.
So,
Yeah, which is horrible.
Yeah, it's now or never for them.
Yeah, and I think they're paying, dude. I think they're paying Sean Payton like 15 to 20 mil a year too. I'm not joking.
And
I've never seen a head coach get that kind of attention.
me neither, dude.
Get that.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And honestly, like, I don't think a coach could bring the talent back to a washed up player that's going towards the end of his career. You know what I mean? Like, you can't really bring the talent back into him. I mean, yeah, you can design a nice playbook for him and like maybe he'll fit in that system. But if his career's just going downhill, dude, it's not like you're going to bring the talent back into him. He ain't Magic. So why waste all that
Was
draft?
it really Sean Payton or was it Drew Brees?
Breeze, dude.
I think a mix of both. I mean, you think this?
I'd have to agree with Dylan there.
I think it's kind of like Brady Belichick.
I mean, like, dude, come on. I mean, he made Jameis Winston look fucking, or my bad, but great.
That's all good.
He made who was the other one? There was another quarterback he just had the last few years that he made him look real good.
Taysom Hill.
When he had to use Taysom.
Those are
Hill.
young quarterbacks, though. I'm not bashing Sean Payton at all. I think he's one of the best
I know, but
in the
I'm
league.
just backing up the argument of like who was it, Breeze or him? I think it was definitely both.
Both,
I
yeah.
That was a combination.
It's the same thing like with Belichick and Brady. Like people try to give Brady the credit, or people try doing. You know what I mean? Both. It really is both. They're both great.
Yeah.
You know what I find funny? So the people that own the Denver Broncos own Walmart, the whole corporation shit. So the way I look at it is that they're trying to make Walmart like Target, but they're trying to make the Broncos like a better team. Insert here. You know what I mean? Like they'll spend X amount of dollars to try to make them look like a really good team. But the players that Russell Wilson has around him are like the people in pajamas walking around Walmart, bro. They're not relevant people. You know?
Judy.
Jerry Jeudy is one person.
Cortland
Russell Wilson
Sutton.
is one person. They're just not as good. They're not elite level players that he needs around him, is what I'm trying to say.
See, I'm agreeing a little bit with you, Ken, because people have been like now putting Jerry Judy down, dude, and saying he's not that guy. I like Jerry Judy. I think Judy's gonna be all right. I don't think Russ is washed, man. I think he just had a season that wasn't necessarily up to his standard. I'm not a fan of Russell Wilson. I think he's cringe. But I just think, dude, that with Nathaniel Hackett, dude, wasn't necessarily the best thing that Russ could have gotten. You know, like I think he has all the pieces around him.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this new thing in Denver. I think Russ is going to end up being not great, but I think he's going to be good next year. I think he's going to have a decent year, and I think they're going to win 9 games.
I hope he is. I'm a Russell.
It's a very competitive division with the Chargers, Chiefs, and Raiders. You know,
especially if Rodgers goes there, you know, that's what's going to make it really hard is the fact of like if Rodgers is there, you're lucky to win half of your division games. Yeah. So instead of 6 wins, you might win 3, maybe.
That would be easily the best division in football if Rodgers goes to
close
easily. And the NFC East too, dude, because the Commanders are going to end up getting a good quarterback coming in. I feel like too.
I don't know. They got to get a new owner first.
Yeah,
I think the NFC East is going to go downhill. I think this is a fluke year.
I saw something, dude, that the guy that owns Amazon
Eagles won.
No, I'm not bashing the Eagles. I'm saying like the whole like the NFC East, the NFC Beast,
like the Giants,
like and the Cowboys, and you know, it's just like in the divisional round, like all 3 of us, like that's not going to like all of us aren't going to be that like good every year. It's just not.
No, but I mean, if they get a good owner, the Commanders like Jeff Bezos, the dude that owns Amazon, they'll have enough money to pay somebody. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, I think one of the main reasons that the NFC East was like so much better than the rest of the NFC this year, the NFC South, all of those teams sucked. The Bucks, they were a fluke, and with the NFC West, you only had one team in because the Cardinals, they were banged up all year. The Rams, they were banged up all year. And the Seahawks, they got lucky to get in. So, like,
they wanted Smith to look good. They wanted Smith to look good, dude, and they needed that. You know why they needed them in? Is because, dude, the Lions probably deserved it a little more. But they probably told the Lions, yo, next year will be your year. Rodgers is leaving that division. The Vikings are going to finish last. You and the Bears will have a coin flip to who wins. You know, I would say, dude, the Lions just keep taking shots. You know, they're the guys who have to go and jump in front of the bullet to not make the playoffs. Dan Campbell deserves a playoff run. Jared Goff deserves a contract extension. I think he's still there for another year or 2. But Goff is there. Yeah, he's there for like 2 more
years, I think.
Yeah, so I think he deserves to like have it to where he's not in the mix of all right is a QB controversy. I think he had a very good season.
Well, I mean, I actually just seen something on this today, and I kind of like to talk about it for a second. If Rodgers goes to the AFC, who are the quarterbacks left in the NFC? You got Jalen, you got Dak, Kirk Cousins, and you got if Stafford's healthy. Who else? Who name another one that's anything like decent? I mean, if you want to count Daniel Jones and stuff, but I mean, like, serious, like,
and the NFC,
like, people we have seen, no, just like the whole NFC, like another quarterback that has at least shown like signs of like
life,
like not just a game or 2, like had like a good season.
Kirk
Cousins, I feel like is a hit or miss, man. Like,
I said Kirk, you know, Jalen, Dak, maybe Stafford.
Man, that's hey, you got a point there.
Well, what's his name? From the Panthers, Donald.
I was thinking of that in my head, dude. I was going to say, do you give Sam Darnold a chance or nah?
Darnold, that's what it was.
I think they move on from Sam Darnold.
Oh man, that is a good. Yeah, that's actually a good one there, Dylan. Geno Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
what's up? Gino,
I'd say he would probably, this is one good season of his career. But like now he's gonna
I
get his
like
pay.
Gino. I actually do like Gino,
So do I.
but I'm just saying, like, it was a good like topic to throw around. It was like, the NFC's technically wide open.
I don't think you go and give Geno Smith though 4 years, 150 mil at 32 years old after his first good season.
Not that much, no.
I would have franchise tagged him. And just kept him around for another year and see what he got. That's what I would have done. But that is a good actual debate, yeah, because without Rodgers and Brady, who is really your guys that are necessarily in that conversation? And I couldn't really give you one besides maybe Jared Goff, but I mean Goff's like a hit or miss too.
I mean, if
That's
you
what I mean.
think about it too, like Dak's one of the better quarterbacks in the NFC even.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, people were saying like Dallas should, after. I mean, Dak has had good years. This was statistically his worst year.
He has had.
People are like, okay, like this year, like jumping on it real quick, and they're like, get rid of him, right? And like, I was seeing like they were talking like, yeah, if he was in the AFC, then yeah, I'm probably like, all right, like we need to upgrade a quarterback. But in the NFC right now, you could build a good enough team around Dak to make it to the Super Bowl. I mean, I think you can, because like it's not that strong. Like, just say for instance, the Eagles in 2 or 3 years from now, are like obviously not as good as they are now. So say they have like a bad year or something, right? What, like, I mean, if Dallas builds a good enough team, I think they could shoot for it.
Shoot for what? Like a Super Bowl?
Just making one. Like, not.
I would have said this year, dude, that they were contenders. I would have said that they had their chance. Like, I thought this was a year for them to go and say, you know what, we have the pieces. Like I said, dude, Tony Pollard played phenomenal this season. But I think they're, again, just like, dude, a help receiver away from a really good playoff run. Like, Michael Gallup, I don't think should have ever gotten that contract, which is horrible to give him it. Don't get me wrong, he'll have his plays here and there, but dude, he is not like your real good, consistent number two. I would go and plug Brandon Cooks in over Michael Gallup.
Well, yeah,
and that's not discrediting Brandon Cooks, but a lot of people are saying anymore, who is Brandon Cooks? 4 or 5 years ago, Brandon Cooks was the guy you wanted on your team. He was incredible with the Saints, with the Pats, with the Rams. Brandon Cooks is getting missed, bro.
They didn't give Michael Gallup that. Like, I mean, they gave him some money, but they didn't give him
5 years, 60-some mil.
Yeah, they didn't give him like, I don't know the exact numbers of it, but I know that they're not paying him like top, like number one receiver money.
They signed Michael Gallup for 5 years,
something like that.
Wow.
But I mean, I also like don't mind. Like, I think like you should give him another year. I mean, he did come off into a torn ACL as a receiver. I think like most of the time you should give that guy like a year, and then the following year then evaluate him. So I think if he has like a rough year next year, I think then it's like, all right, now we got to figure out what we're doing with this contract.
Yeah,
why didn't you guys keep Amari Cooper? I really don't know. Was it too much money or?
Yeah, he was getting. They signed him the year before, and he was making $20 million a year. And they felt like CD could, produce better even, and he did, and he produced better the year before. So they were like, we'd rather not have him and like fill some other needs, which I think I honestly agree with it.
I do too.
People are like, why did you give him away for a 5th rounder? But it's like, it's a 5th rounder and his whole contract that they got rid of.
Yeah.
It's not like they're just like, oh yeah, we're giving Amari away, we're going to eat the money, and we're just going to get a 5th rounder for him.
Yeah, that's why they had to do it for cheap, and because if they would have said, all right, give us like a 2nd or a 3rd, they would have been like, all right, well then you eat his guaranteed money then.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, going and getting a 5th for him, you know what I mean? All right, take the guaranteed money, but here, we'll get at least a 5th round. Maybe we could turn something into it, who knows? Right. But Gallup's making, it was a 5-year, $57.5 million, $10 million signing bonus, and $27 million guaranteed. So if they trade him, they'd only have to eat $27 million.
Oh, there's only 27 of that guaranteed.
Yeah, but that's like incentives. Like if he hits incentives, which he probably didn't hit, and he's making an annual salary of 11.5 mil. So, I mean, I don't know.
All right, yeah, you can jump on this.
Going off of that, we'll wrap it up with Arian Foster hitting it with a script, saying that before every game before every season he was given a script. What's your guys' beliefs on this now?
Relevancy is key to stay on the internet. Basically, I mean, he's been retired for what? I don't even know how long. Like,
I think since like 15, 16.
Like, why does he come out and say it now, though? You know what I mean? Everything podcasts are very popular now, so obviously he's gonna hop on a show. I'm surprised he even hop on Part of My Take or something like that to say something. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I believe him. I think everyone's handed a script when they walk in to the locker room. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He was definitely joking, and he like came back and said later that like he didn't want to be put in the spotlight like this. Like he was just kidding, and like but why go and say something like that if you don't want the publicity?
Because maybe then the Matrix was out to get him.
But then it's annoying though too, dude, because now you got guys like Marlon Humphrey, who just got torched by Jamar Chase, is going on Twitter and saying, "Oh, I was handed the script that said to give 200 up to Chase." Like, what? No, he cooked you, dude. That's what happened.
I think he was definitely joking with that, though.
Yeah,
I think that was
It's annoying to see that thing, just like a troll, though. That's just annoying, like you said.
That was like the best part of this is just seeing like all like the random NFL players coming and like retweeting and saying that like like when
like memes when Aaron Hernandez got the script.
Yeah. Little meme, yeah, that's funny.
No, I mean I think everybody's having fun with it. I think that's like it's just like a joke overall. And I seen this, and I believe actually this is like true. I actually believe this 100%. If there was a script, Antonio Brown would have said something.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown would have came out and he would have said it. So it's just a joke. I mean, I think the Vegas money when it's on a team, I think the refs might help that other team out or whatever. You know what I mean? To make a couple bucks here and there, but the NFL players have no part in that. They compete. They don't care about, or they don't want to like do the whole WWE stuff.
Yeah, there would be literally hundreds of thousands of people that have to cover for the story. Like you don't think like any of the players would go and tell their wives or their family? Like no, that just wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
Brady's wife would be telling the script.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll wrap up with that. Thank you for tuning in to episode 8 of the pod. Stay tuned. It should be out in a day or so. Thank you.
And make sure you jump on eBay and get Tom Brady's sand.
Yeah.
90 grand.
Yeah.